The pretty girl photos, those are something that a lot of glamour photographers do. I don't want it to be, say, hi, here's a portrait of me. This is not a portrait. I'm trying to tell a human story, which means that human being needs to be in a place, experiencing some type of emotion, rather than, hi, I'm here looking at you, I'm being personal with you. I don't want the subject speaking my message. I'm not trying to create a beautiful picture that you enjoy for a moment. I'm not looking to create a portrait. It's not portraiture.
When people see our work, they're like, wow, that's different. I've never done that before, or I've never seen that done before. When you look at his work, you can see that it's genuine, that those people were really feeling those things at that time. It wasn't just a posed shot to make it look like they were feeling something or doing something. This is on a whole nother level.
My first genuine series was called The Wind in the Water, and it was people at the interface of water, but that was always showing the surface of the water rather than down in the water. This took me below the surface. It dawned on me that what I was seeing was very much the same look that some of the masters in painting had created back over the centuries. You have an angel floating through the sky, and without any effort, they're staying airborne, and there's this long flowing material around them. The technology had arisen to the point that what was once only imagined in the mind of someone like that, of a painter like that, and through diligent effort could be recreated, I could actually photograph, because in the density of water, and water's around 1,000 times as dense as air, in that medium, human beings, when they're swimming underneath, are doing exactly what birds do in the air. They are indeed flying. So what was once only a dream of picturing humans in flight, I now had the technology to photograph. We are literally looking at human beings or human form in a situation where they're flying. Much like what you would think of angels with wings, is that they don't need wings to actually fly in this medium. I use a lot of draped materials and wing-like structures around the subjects. One of my favorites in the whole series is one of the models. She's draped in material and it's kind of tied around her. She does not like to stay down very long. She likes to surface and go back up and down a lot. And one time she rolled over into the surface, and it looks like she's appearing as if she's looking at herself in a mirror. She's just inches away from the surface, and that the image is presented upright where the surface is on the side. It's not above her, it's on the side, and it looks as if she's saying, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
It's really a lot about moments. It's getting in the water, and it's not finding that perfect pose. It's really getting that situation, that flow that you can only get with shooting underwater, that Scott seems to just be able to run through. And he'll take 600 shots, but through those 600 shots, he'll find those 2 or 3 that are just absolutely perfect.
I believe that a still image should give the viewer one of two things. It should give the viewer an understanding of what happened just before, or what is going to happen just after that image, so that there's actually a period of time covered by a single still image. That's why you see a lot of times you see me with pieces of material that are moving, in the image. You can tell that that material is in motion. It was before, it will be afterwards, and it gives you a sense of duration in the image. So that's the general form of what the storytelling is. With the technology we have now, I can actually photograph people while they're achieving this brief little piece of flight. Human beings who are only in the shot, if it's only the human being in the shot, it's a portrait. But if you can back off a little bit and give them an environment to be in, they can start being in just a moment, covering a duration of a moment of a human being in an environment. In Below, we're also talking about becoming anti-instinctual with the person, that not only are they needing to bring out emotions, not only are they needing to be able to bring out the sense of maybe peacefulness and floating through the air or the joy of flight, they're also have to overcome the physical sensation of nearly drowning. To find the balance in air pressure in the sinus cavities to keep your nose from completely filling with water, the psychology and the sense of instinct to understand where you are in buoyancy, how much air do you have in your lungs, and whether is that letting you rise or whether that's letting you sink. The psychology of the emotion in the shot to prevent yourself from reacting badly to the sensation of drowning. I could die here. And if I die here, that's not something that's anxiety-free. I'm going to say that again. That's not something that's anxiety-free. That is something that you're going to have to give yourself that psychological pink slip of permission to say, I'm still under control. I still have air in my lungs. I'm going to pay attention to that sensation, and then I'm going to rise to the surface in a few seconds, and I'm going to be able to take a breath, and I will be okay, and I'll be safe. If they cannot self-comfort, they're not going to be able to do this series. They're not going to be able to overcome all of the other physical ramifications of being in the water and not having real instincts for it.
And still make art.
And still all of the original emotion to have in the art piece must be there too. They're literally fighting two battles at once. They're fighting a battle to bring emotion to the surface, but at the same time they're fighting a battle to bring other sets of emotions and other instinctual forces and downplay them so that they can get through the moment. There's a serenity to it as well. It's not only quietness, there's a serenity to it, is that you are watching and actually photographing a human being in the midst of gliding through a medium, same as a bird does in the air. There is a peacefulness to it, a quietness to it, a gentleness to it, to that moment of them being suspended between two things. They are literally detached from anything solid in the world around them or their normal. They're going to have to return to the air. Eventually they'll return to something solid to be on. But for that moment, they're in this very peaceful, loving, floating environment as long as they make sure they maintain the integrity of their airway. It's not easy. Tom Hanks said in A League of Their Own, Geena Davis said, it just became so hard. And he goes, it's the hard that makes it good. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.